name is Bryan Stewart. In January of 2020, I decided that it was time to take my spiritual development seriously. I carved out a block of time and committed to giving readings and connecting with spirit. I've had amazing and life-changing results. I want you to have the same experience that I did. I want you to know yourself. That's why I'm here to help you discover the spirit within.
Hello there, Bryan here for another Roadcast. I hope you're enjoying these Roadcasts. It gives me the ability to teach and inform while on my way to work. So, man, there's so much I want to say, but I don't want to get all of our topics mixed up and just go off on a tangent. So, today I wanted to talk about spirit and how spirit interacts with us, and as much as I can tell you about it, because I think it's really interesting. And I believe, personally, I feel that the more you understand something, the better you will be at it, right? Now I come from a technology background. So for me, technology it's really wide and it's broad and there's a lot to it. So if I understand deeply how something works, I can better work around any issues, and also my understanding of the topic is much better because I understand it and how it works. Where sometimes in technology, as this reference is, what happens is we get really super focused on one aspect of this thing, and you don't understand all around it, if you could picture that. So if something outside of your small scope of understanding happens, you're kind of out of luck. You're grasping. So what do you think when you think of spirit? Like, what is spirit? Do you even have the understanding that you are actually spirit, having this physical, earthly experience? That you are so much more than your outside appearance? You're the intelligence behind that? That is in itself, as I would be quoting from a really interesting movie during my childhood, The Nerds. That's heavy yogurt. um, yeah, so we're so much more than our outside appearance. We actually get super hung up on how we look, how people perceive us. You know, maybe we don't like our voice, maybe we don't like our nose, maybe we don't like our weight. Those are all just aspects of this vehicle that we happen to be occupying during this time, this lifetime on Earth. And it's not really who we are. Who we are is behind it. Who we are is the intelligence, the spirit behind what people see. That might be why, some people can meet somebody for the first time and instantly find a connection. Or people can meet somebody for the first time and instantly be like, woo, uh-oh. I don't know what's going on with this person, but it just doesn't feel right. So that's you as the spirit you, connecting with the spirit them, saying, this isn't a vibrational match to me for some reason, right? So, because we are so physical in this world, everything's physical, right? Matter's physical, all that stuff. A lot of times, me included, are like, I need to see it before I believe it. I need to feel it before I believe it, sort of thing. We are very grounded in physical, and that's just how this world operates. So, of course, when we look in the mirror and we see physical, we think that's it. But I'm telling you right now, it's not it. You're the you behind what you see in the mirror. So you need to realize that. And if something physically in the mirror is holding you back, you need to disregard that. Now, I'm not saying be unhealthy and things like that, but what I'm saying is if you don't like something about your appearance and you don't want to or unable to change it, that's fine. That's just your outside appearance. What you need to do is you need to fine tune the real you inside. There are these lessons that you're learning. This is this journey that you're experiencing. And you got to do that. Okay. I saw a cartoon cell, and it really resonated with me. It was a still night, and you see in this picture, the foreground is the dock on a pond or a lake. And at the end of the dock is Snoopy and Charlie Brown. And Charlie Brown says, "You only live once." And Snoopy says, "You only die once, you live every day." And that is something that really struck me. And I hope it strikes you the same way. It's seeing the other side of the coin. It's the glass is half full and not half empty. There's always another side to everything. It's just whether you choose to exist and participate in the positive or in the negative. And the negative is not always a bad thing. It's a mindset. It's what we are taught by our social networks. It's what we are taught. No. Well, let's go back to the social network, considering that came out of my mouth here just then. I don't know if it's a term yet, but like, I consider what you see on things like Facebook and Instagram like the Instaface. Like, it's like this single snapshot of something that may or may not be accurate. It's almost like you can take a poll, right? If you're polling somebody, and you can make the results of that poll sound completely different than depending on how you present it. So the Instaface, people's Instagram persona, they're not going to show the real. They may show the smiley picture on the beach, but really they might be internally struggling. So for us as a people to see that single staged, if I could say, snapshot of somebody, see that single stage snapshot of somebody, and you're like, I'm really lacking here. This person is super happy, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. That's not always true. People aren't going to put the real on Facebook or Instagram. And for you to just assume, first of all, that represents their everyday is folly. It really is wrong. The other thing that's a problematic here for you is that we all tend to compare ourselves to people. Even if it's like on the spiritual journey, like, wow, why is this person why are they getting so much more than I am? Why are they able to see more? Why are they able to hear more than I am? Well, comparison's not good, because what it does is it puts up a block. If you're talking about a spiritual journey and a spiritual comparison, why can that person connect to spirit better than I can? That just puts a block up for you, because you're already saying you're not good enough. You can't do it. Everybody is on their own journey. Every medium or anybody that's like an empath, they have like different skills and different ways of doing things. And it works for them. And maybe a gift is stronger for them. Doesn't mean that you have to say that you are less because yours isn't as strong. Plus, how long have they been at it? How long do they practice? Do they set aside time regularly in the same place, in the same space to do this? Maybe it's more than you, and of course they're further on their journey. Maybe they started years ahead of you. Everybody can do this. Everybody can talk to spirit. Everybody can be a medium. I believe that. Because what it is spirit talking to spirit, and you and I have spirits, and they're spirits. They just don't have a body like we do. Right? So, you have to end the comparison. Just like if I can play basketball. I can throw the basketball. Sometimes it goes in. Most of the time it bounces off. Could I beat Michael Jordan? No way. He is just better suited at playing basketball, even retired, than I am. Could I get better than I am now? Sure. If I put in the effort and I put in the practice, of course I can. Could I be as good as Michael Jordan? Most likely not, but I can be a lot better if I practice. So what I'm saying is some people are just naturally better attuned to mediumship than others. They're Michael Jordans. But doesn't mean that you can't approach that. You can. You have to practice. You have to put in the effort. You have to understand. So let me talk to you about spirit and kind of how this works from what I just learned. So I learned that there are actually three aspects to our physical existence. So stick with me here. Three aspects. There is the physical body, the materialistic, right? The one that we see in the mirror. There's that. Then there is something called a perispirit. It's like an envelope that surrounds your spirit. And then you guessed it, the third part is the spirit. So we have the spirit, and then around the spirit is this etheric fluid that we can't see called the perispirit, and then the physical body. Three. One inside the other. And the spirit uses the perispirit, which is sort of like this fluid that acts as like a conduit. The ability to have the life force energy and the intelligence that comes from spirit act upon the physical body. So the spirit can't directly influence and make animated our physical body. It has to go through this perispirit, this universal fluid. It's almost like water or electricity. Those thoughts and intentions go through from the spirit, through the perispirit, universal fluid into the body and animates it, makes it. You are not your body. You are not your brain. These things are acted upon by the spirit or the soul, the real you. Isn't that weird? Isn't that amazing? Okay? And then spirits that we communicate with, those are spirits or souls with the perispirit and no physical body. Ha! Kind of cool, huh? Okay, so let's take it a step back and look at this again. So the spirit of the soul, through the perispirit, or that universal fluid, can make the body work. All the organs, all the systems, the thoughts, the feet, the hands, everything, right? It can make it work. But after we pass, we lose that physical body, but we still have our spirit or our soul and our perispirit. What do we know about the perispirit and the spirit? They can act on physical matter, right? Like the body. So, doesn't that also mean that a spirit with the perispirit, which they're inseparable, can act on other physical matter, not just the body? Does it mean that it can knock on walls, drain batteries, flicker lights, move your keys? Yeah. Doesn't that now explain a little bit? See what I mean about understanding a little bit more about a subject? You can work other things out, and better understanding, in my opinion, allows you to be a better wielder of the information, I guess I could say. In IT, knowing about not only the computers and how they work, but also the way that computers talk to each other, makes you a better IT person. You can understand how the communication happens. You can be a better medium and a better spiritualist or psychic or whatever you want to consider yourself if you know more about spirit, as much as we possibly can know. And we are not going to know everything. We know a very small amount. And the reason why is not because it's like something hidden. It really is becoming more and more open. But it's just because, and follow me on this one, we can't comprehend it. It's so outside of these artificial walls that we've put up, that we try to explain the stuff that we feel and we know. It's just so small. We just don't have words to describe the stuff because it is so amazing that we just couldn't put words on. So of course we can't understand everything. We can't. But it's my hope that we can understand it enough. And by understanding enough, we can help. We can help build bridges. We can help complete things unsaid. We can help heal relationships. We can help people shift their mind from we only live once to we only die once, and we live every day. Just imagine that. That's all spirit is really here for. That's why we have this communication. It's for them to explain to us and remind us that we live every day, that we can shift our mindset. We can spread love and joy and peace and the knowledge that there is so much more than what we see. And although it is tragic and heartbreaking to lose someone physically, they do not go very far. They are still with us. And it is not a flowery thought only. It is not a whimful wish. It is truth. And I know you know that. Oftentimes I find myself having to be reminded of things I already know. Maybe you have to hear it from somebody else. A lot of times in the circles that I do on Tuesday nights, where a group of us get together and we really connect and we practice. I don't know how many times, it's most of them, that at least one person says, I've been searching for that answer or asking that question or thinking that thought, and it was just answered now. Spirit is all around us, and they hear us, and they try to get to us, and sometimes it just takes somebody else to say the same thing you've heard over and over again before you realize, hey, I do have the answer. So this is really cool. I hope that you are able to make more sense out of your spiritual connection and how we all fit together after listening to this podcast. I hope that you take Snoopy's advice and you remind yourself daily that you live every single day. And I hope you continue your journey. Whether it's with me or wherever Spirit is leading you, just listen. Spirit will always guide you in the highest and the best. And if for ever any reason it doesn't feel like the highest and the best, you don't have to follow that. But when you remain open and excited and in tune and high vibe, you will progress. There will come a time that it just all fits together and your eyes are opened and you are on your way. So I thank you for spending the time with me on this roadcast, and I hope to see you back again.